now, though, we're going to start this hour at the Emirates as Arsenal got the job done against Ipswich, live on talkSPORT. An early Kai Havertz goal yesterday was enough for the victory against a Tractor Boys side that rarely threatened. The result means the Gunners are 6 points behind the leaders Liverpool after the first set of festive games. But remember, Arne Slot's team do have a game in hand. After this match, Mikel Arteta spoke to talkSPORT and was asked whether his side struggled without Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, in some moments we have a lot of fluidity. As I said, in some of the moments we still need other connection, not only on the right side, on the left as well. Things to improve, like in every game. The way we started the second half, we could have improved as well. So a lot of positives, and that's the main thing, that the team is really stable, really hungry, and keeps winning. So that's good.
Yeah, so he's happy overall with that victory that moves them up to second in the table. Joining us to reflect more upon it is the former Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clarke. Adrian, good morning. How you doing?
Hi, good morning, Nat. Morning, Cass. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, not too bad.
It's funny, isn't it, how, Arsenal have got a victory on the board. They're second now. They're 6 points behind the leaders, Liverpool. They are title rivals, certainly. And yet there's still a bit of an air of negativity about that win yesterday.
Yeah, and I understand it. I felt it myself, to be honest. Sat there watching it. It was a bit underwhelming. Considering the amount of possession Arsenal had, they probably should have created a lot more clear-cut chances than they did. It was a great goal. Really enjoyed that, with the two lovely pieces of wing play from Martinelli and Trossard to lay out on a plate for Kai Havertz. But beyond that, there wasn't a whole lot of imagination, was there, or chemistry, as Mikel Arteta described. You're looking for those triangles. You're looking for runners to go and disrupt Ipswich's defence. But the other big chance, of course, as it always seems to, came from a corner, but where Gabriel, by his standards, really should head home. It's an open goal for Gabriel, isn't it? So it should really have been 2-0. But even so, I think there'd have been a few question marks about Arsenal's creativity against this low block, which seems to be a bit of an issue.
So let's get a positive side on this, because Miles Lewis Skelly done really well, left back, one of probably the shining lights of the night.
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's really, really, he's got an excellent temperament. He is strong, and he's got a little bit of
feisty
fight to him, but he can look after himself, can't he, on the pitch? I saw that there's been 3 or 4 occasions this season where he sort of reared up and had a little bit of a pop at an opponent, and I like that from a youngster, because it shows confidence. It shows that he feels he belongs at that level, and when you watch him play, he does belong at that level. He's really calm on the ball. And he makes good decisions 9 times out of 10, or even more than that. So, I really like him. I think that the balance of Arsenal's team is still better with a left footer at left back, someone like Calafiori if he's 100% fit. But Marzo Skelly is a talent, just like Ethan Nwaneri, and I think he is going to play an awful lot of games for Arsenal's first team, and it's brilliant to see. You know what it's like. The fans love to see homegrown products given a chance, and this year 2 kids that are 17 have had a lot of first team football, which is it's a real bonus for them and for everyone, really.
Aid, I just want to ask you, because obviously Arsenal in second position at the moment, and obviously, again, 6 points and a game more played by Arsenal than Liverpool. It feels like second is a really viable option for Arsenal, but the club has come so far. I think there's still that frustration of Arsenal fans. We've got to get over the line.
Oh, Cass, you can't, it's sort of unthinkable to finish as the bridesmaid 3 seasons in a row, isn't it? It would be, because the nature of it, the last 2 seasons where Arsenal have led the way and then been caught to finish second, pretty heartbreaking, even though there are loads of positives. This time around, it feels very different, because Arsenal are the chasers, and that might suit us in the second half of the season. It's a different sort of pressure, having to win, but also knowing that, Liverpool have got the pressure of sort of looking over their shoulders. So, look, it's exciting. I do think that Arsenal can catch Liverpool. It will need a blip, won't it? It will need a good old wobble up from Slot's players. But look, as we've seen with Arsenal, anything can happen. Arsenal have lost Ødegaard for 6-7 games. They're now going to lose Bukayo Saka for, I don't know what. There's talk now. Well, he's had an operation, hasn't he? So they're talking now about more than 2 months. I mean, How many games is that going to be? It could be a quarter of the season that they're going to miss Saka for. So something like that could happen to Liverpool. You don't wish it on anyone, but it could happen, and they might be disrupted. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm absolutely not handing the title to Liverpool just yet. I do think this Arsenal team is pretty special. They didn't show it last night, but that's 4 home clean sheets in a row now. No one's had more clean sheets in this season than Arsenal. In the calendar year, Arsenal have won more Premier League games than they ever won in a calendar year before. This team is a really, really strong outfit that doesn't lose very many matches. It's a case now of making sure there are none of these silly draws where you really got to win. The Fulham game and the Everton game, they had 2 shots, 4 shots between them, and Arsenal pick up 2 points. That's what they've got to change in the second half of the season. Make sure that there's none of those slip-ups. I mean, Ipswich had 3 shots. So that aspect of Arsenal's game is pretty phenomenal at the moment. They are not really giving opponents a sniff. It's going forward. Do Arsenal have enough goals in them against teams that are really defensive? Palace went for it against Arsenal. They went adventurous. Let's take the fight to Arsenal. And that suits Mikel Arteta's team. It's what Ipswich did last night that's proving a little bit problematic, and Arsenal will have to get better at it.
And in terms of the short-term solution then for the Bukayo Saka issue, he's sort of mentioned already, Arteta, that he's not really going to go into the January window looking for that solution. He's going to try and find that internal solution. So who do you think is best suited to play on that right?
There are a few options. I think Martinelli has proved that he can do it. He did really well against Palace. Obviously played a part in the goal against Ipswich. He faded a bit last night, but he's definitely an option. Jesus can play out there as well. Sterling when he's fit. Look, there are a number of. You could change the system. You could probably go with Havertz and Jesus up front and maybe play a narrow right winger. Ødegaard obviously spends most of his time out on the right. You can change things up and experiment. And I expect Mikel Arteta to do that like he did when Ødegaard was out. He kind of went 4-4-2, and that might be something they look at doing. They probably need one extra creative player on the pitch without Saka because he's almost worth 2. So that's one thing to do. But I've got to be honest, Nat and Cass, I think that if Arsenal can go into the market, they really should. I think it would be such a boost to the supporters and maybe the squad itself if the board, the powers that be, say, you know what, let's go for it here and spend relatively big this month on a forward player. I think it would send a message that Arsenal are really serious about winning the title this season.
Anyone in mind, Adrian?
Oh, there's a few on the list. Look, but you've got to look at realistic options. I think the type of player Arsenal really need long term is an Isak or a Gyökeres, a powerful, quick, explosive striker that knows how to finish. But that might not be achievable in January. I think Arsenal should explore the option. I know that Kolo Muani at PSG has been linked with a loan move. He'd certainly be a good option. Mohammed Kudus is a player that Arsenal have had a long-term interest in. He is a perfect Bukayo Saka replacement who can also do a job up front. Wonderful traveller with the ball at his feet. Could Arsenal test West Ham United's resolve with an offer this month? There are options for Arsenal, and I would expect them to chance their arm and try it. And I think if they can pull off a move, it would lift everybody at the club and maybe give them that little bit of a momentum jolt that's a springboard for a pretty special end to the season. Let's see what they do. But I would love them to, because it just sends that message that Arsenal mean business, and that we have not given up on the title this season. We're going for it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Not long to wait until that window opens.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.